Over to me and he said, Mr. Finley, could you take me into the game as your guest? And I said, yes, I'd be glad to. And I got pretty well acquainted with the Hammer.
Finley noticed the passion that Burrell had in his eyes and instantly knew he was going to be somebody. To put his flair and good energy into use, Charlie hired him as a clubhouse assistant and a bat boy. In reality, his brother Louis Burrell Jr. was the bad boy, while Stanley's job was to take calls and do play-by-play for the A's absentee owner during every summer game. For the next 7 years, Hammer was Finley's eyes and ears, and this would also be the time when Stanley would get his infamous nickname, which would very soon become a nationwide phenomenon.
I got my nickname the Hammer because of my resemblance when I was very small to Hank Aaron, the Big Hammer. So everyone was calling me the Little Hammer. The guys on the Oakland A's when I was the bat boy for the Oakland A's, and I kept the name. So everybody knows me as Hammer. Hammer. I am Hammer.
The MC in his later years also didn't come from anywhere. He acquired the name MC for being a master of ceremonies, which he later used when he began performing at various clubs while on the road with the A's. During this time, he befriended a lot of Oakland's A's players, the same ones who would later play a crucial role in his career. In 1980, Burrell graduated from McClymonds High School and decided to take undergraduate classes in communications while simultaneously pursuing a career as a professional baseball player. At the time, dancing and writing poetry were mere hobbies for Stanley, and his only dream was to become a professional baseball player.
I thought that I wanted to be a professional baseball player, and I thought that the attention that they received and, the things that came with being a star athlete was really the epitome.
Unfortunately, that dream was short-lived, ending when he failed to make the final cut at a San Francisco Giants tryout. With his dream crushed, Hammer found himself lost. Grown up in a rough neighborhood, he witnessed a lot of his childhood friends making money hand over fist by selling drugs on the street, and for a brief moment, Stanley was also thinking about joining the game. However, he realized he was destined for something greater.
Grew up in Oakland, one of 8 kids, in a neighborhood that somebody just described to me that now looks like the streets of Beirut. Crime, drugs. Why don't you think you went that way? Were you ever tempted to go that way?
Was I ever tempted? I would say that anybody who grew up on my block had to be tempted.
What made you stop it and say, this is not what I'm going to do? And how close did you get?
Well, what made me stop was my mother. I knew how hard she worked to provide for us as a single parent, and I knew that it would break her heart to find out that one of her children was involved in any aspect of drugs.
This realization led him to enlist in the United States Navy, where he served as a petty officer, third-class aviation storekeeper for 3 years until his honorable discharge. After he was done with the Navy, his passion for music and religion reignited once again, but before his successful run saga, he first found a Christian rap group with the singer and musician John Gibson called the Holy Ghost Boys. Together with Tremaine Hawkins, Hammer performed with Gibson's band at concerts at various venues, such as the Beverly Theater in Beverly Hills. Unfortunately, the group went nowhere, and after releasing a couple of songs, the squad disbanded. Determined to fulfill his dream, Hammer decided to take destiny into his own hands and
get ready for the next battle.
Alright, here I go! Luffy! We are on Luffy! What episode am I on about? Episode 900 and something. We are a Luffy!
Fight!
Oh, B. Alright, I won't mess around.
called up the two of Oakland's ace players, Dwayne Murphy and Mike Davis. He asked for a loan of $20,000 to start his own record label. Surprisingly, they agreed, and in 1986, MC Hammer found the record label, Bust Records. He went to the streets and began recruiting rappers, DJs, and dancers. Some of the people included Ken Wilson, aka Lone Mixer, his DJ, Kevin Wilson, aka Q Big MC, his hype man, Sweet LD, Terrible T, and Lil P, who were dubbed Oakland's 357 and were his background dancers. Hammer was demanding and focused, leading marathon rehearsal sessions to push his act to a higher place. The main focus at the time for him was to implicate some of the things he learned in the Navy into everyone's work ethic. He later commented, "We have to keep our organization disciplined because we have goals, and in order to achieve those goals, we have to be disciplined."
So you find yourself being somewhat of a father on the tour, strict dad?
I don't want to ever have to call somebody's mother or father and say, I got bad news for you. They found your daughter this morning dead on 10th Street about 4 o'clock. I think the first question from that parent's mind would be, Hammer, I let my daughter go with you. What was she doing out at 4 o'clock in the morning on 10th Street? So therefore, I accept my responsibility, and if I get labeled a disciplinarian, then again, thank you.
death
Get
match.
ready for the next battle.
Then you'll be, I mean, not death match, mirror match. Then you'll be a better player, you know, of your character or whoever you're using. You need to learn how to duck that elbow and the high punch, and then maybe.
In the same year, in 1986, he recorded his first single, Ringo. In partnership with Felton Pilot, frontman, instrumentalist, and producer of the then recently disbanded Function, recorded his first full-length album in Pilot's basement studio. In August of 1986, Busted Records released MC Hammer's debut LP, Feel My Power. Together with his wife Stephanie, they pushed the album to local DJs relentlessly, all by recording and selling singles out of the trunk of their car. Singles like Rhythm became considerably popular at dance clubs in the San Francisco Bay Area, all on the strength of their tireless street marketing. With the couple working as Busted's promo team, Feel My Power sold an impressive 60,000 copies. This didn't go unnoticed by major labels, and soon, Capitol Records knocked on Burrell's door.
Welcome back to Yo, MTV Rap. This is Fab Bob Freddy, hanging out with my very special guest today, MC Hammer. Word up. Yo, Hammer, I'm getting a lot of mail in from people all over the country. They want to know how to get started in rap. So what I want to know from you is how you got started and where you from.
Well, you know, I'm from Oakland. We call it Old Town where I'm from. And I got started. I put together a couple demo tapes. When the tapes, you know, got together like I wanted them, I gave it with 2 companies. Both those companies liked the tape and they signed me, you know. And that's how it started to roll a little bit, but they didn't have enough money to make it happen. So I went to a couple of my partners on the Oakland A's.
Oh, the
Baseball team. And Mike Davis and Dwayne Murphy invested some money in me, and I started my own label, and it worked. And Capitol heard about me, and they picked me up.
So you got with Kaplan, that's when the real big push started.
Right.
While he turned down a lot of record deals previously, this was too hard to resist. In 1988, MC Hammer signed a multi-album deal with Capitol Records for an astonishing $10 million. From the advance that he got, which was $1,750,000, he decided to reinvest $750,000 into Busted Records, and with his next project, MC Hammer took over the world. In 1988, Hammer reissued his first record, Feel My Power, and with additional tracks added, he sold over 2 million copies. Let's Get It Started was released on September 28, 1988, and featured singles like Pump It Up, Turn This Mother Out, Let's Get It Started, and They Put Me in the Mix, which all of them landed on the charts. 2 years later, in 1990, MC Hammer released his infamous album, Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him, which included the single.
Can't touch this. Yeah, that's how we living, and you know. Can't touch this.
The success of the album catapulted Hammer's career to legendary status, with it selling an unbelievable 22 million copies. It's hard to overstate how popular MC Hammer was at the time, everywhere from music videos, commercials,
KFC.
movies, and even cartoons. Hammer was
I
everywhere.
forgot all about it.
How much did you trade your legs for?
Sick.
Your legs are worth $10 million?
Hey, don't put it that way. No, they want more than that to me.
The album marked the start of his run at hip-hop stardom, and throughout the years, Hammer continued to release albums, which sooner or later became certified classics. With the spotlight all to himself, it seemed like everything from here on in would be smooth sailing. However, this wasn't the case. While a lot of people loved MC Hammer, just like anybody, he received a lot of criticism from the media and some of his peers.
Are you a rapper or not?
Well, in one unescapable.
Get ready for the next battle.
Okay, interesting. Alright. Just be patient. And sidewalk. Patient, sidewalking. See what they do, right? Then, like he said. Full combo.
aspect, yes, and that is the fact that I don't sing. You know, I'm not singing my lyrics, I rap. But in every other aspect, the answer is no, I'm not a rapper. I entertain. I say that in not meaning any disrespect to other rappers or other rap artists. Just saying, if you want to continue to say what you is pure rap and so forth, okay, you have that, you can have that. You take the Chevrolet, I'll take the Mercedes.
I consider rap very boring to go out to a rap concert and watch a guy walk left to right, left to right. There was nothing entertaining, to me about that except the music itself.
At the peak of his career, people didn't know what to think or how to feel about Hammer. His clean-cut look and carefully choreographed dance routines just didn't strike him as a typical hip-hop artist, and especially a tough guy. After all, he was a full-grown man who danced around with colorful outfits and a pair of parachute pants. With this image in their heads, people within the music industry and some of the most popular rappers at the time saw Hammer as a soft guy from Oakland whom they thought they could diss on their records with little to no retaliation. However, they couldn't be more wrong, and despite the way he expressed himself,
I gotta listen to this. I gotta listen to this after. Can't miss it.
Get ready for the next battle.
Too interesting. I need to listen to this. Okay, MC Hammer.
I'll let you taste the power of my fist!
done the rage up. By doing those low damage, so it made me do more damage. And it's slowing up too. So thank you. Forgot all about rage up. If he had done a better move, it would have been game over already.
I'll let you taste the power of my fists!
next battle.
I just decided, look, if I don't attack now, do something, gonna get mixed up. Yeah, can't miss this. Before they take it off. Yeah, what's to say?
Hammer was no pushover. You see, while he was jumping on the stage from side to side, MC Hammer and his family had deep mob ties in Oakland. More specifically, they were affiliated with Felix Mitchell, an infamous drug lord from Oakland, California, who was the leader of the 6ix9ine mob criminal organization. At the height of his career, it is said that he made more than $1 million a month, all by selling crack and heroin on the streets. One of the areas that he operated was the one where Hammer grew up. While in 1985, Felix Mitchell and his crew were taken down by the FBI, Hammer and his brothers were surrounded by gangsters for most of their lives. Despite his image, MC Hammer was affiliated with the most powerful street guys in the Oakland area, so when this track started to roll, and people decided it was a good idea to mock him, Hammer made sure to assess the situation. In 1987, Hammer mentioned LL Cool J's name in the song Let's Get It Started.
Just play the song, don't put the lyrics on the thing. Just play it. Already.
3 years later, in 1990, LL responded on this track to The Break of Dawn. The song was a diss track towards Kool Moe Dee, MC Hammer, and Ice-T, and the second verse of the song featured lines like "Cold crush and bruise and bandage an amateur, that amateur swinging a hammer. Get a flick on the stiff, dead, shot to get swift, but I'm the whoa, now you cut loose." Well, the situation between LL
Why not just cut the song in instead of who's this person?
Cool J and Hammer resolved fairly quickly. This couldn't be said the same for Third Base. In response to Hammer dissing Run DMC, Third Base decided to diss his mother in their song, The Cactus.
Fast forward, and Hammer disses Run DMC and says that he wasn't hitting in New York, his videos dissing running them. And Joey and Jay, may he rest in peace, yo, that really bothered them. And it really bothered us. Like, how are you going to diss the dudes that gave you a lane? Like, you wouldn't even be on American Bandstand. Like, you know, at the time, there were very few lanes for hip-hop, but they were all opened by Run DMC.
On the song, they say, The Cactus turned Hammer's mother out. While it was supposed to be a play on Third Base album name, and Hammer's song turned his mother out, he took it as a serious insult and a disrespect towards his mother.
Our album was called The Cactus. Hammer's album was called Turn His Mother Out. We had a song called The Cactus, title song to the album. Last verse, Pete says something, and then the last line is The Cactus turned Hammer's mother out. Now that line, for any MC people realized that we were saying that our album was better than his album. But it was a play on words, and it was dope. It was a dope play on words. The Cactus turned Hammer's mother out. The name of his album was Turn His Mother Out. So our album, we felt our album was better. Like, again, confrontation, battle. That's like where we come from in New York. It's standing up for your. He didn't take it that way. He took it extremely literal.
Sometime later, Third Base traveled to Los Angeles to promote their upcoming album. While they were flying, allegedly, MC Hammer's brother phoned Def Jam CEO Russell Simmons and told him that the group will die as soon as they got to the lane.
I believe they identified that the call was from Hammer's brother, Louis Barreau. And I can't prove that or not prove that, but that's what it came down to. Whoever was on the phone said, hey, is Third Base still coming to LA? And she said yes. And the voice said, good, they're dead, and hung up the phone.
According to MC Serch, a $50,000 bounty was put on their heads, and he himself was the special target. Eric B. confirmed the hit to MC Serch, and it was said that the Rollin 60 scripts were hired to execute the job.
Eric B. calls Russell and goes, yeah, it's true, there's a hit. There's a hit. So Russell says to Eric B., well, how do we stop this? And Eric says, nah, you should just let it happen, and hangs up the phone. Russell, in some way, shape, or form, gets in touch with Mike Conception. And Mike confirms what's going on. But Mike says that he can control it and that they shouldn't worry because the only thing that will happen is they'll just break our legs. But we'll still be able to do TV from the waist up.
In response, Russell Simmons asked Barefoot Pookie to protect their base while they were in Los Angeles. A couple of days later, MC Serge decided to go to a mall with his girl, with Pookie watching their backs. It is alleged that sometime after arriving to the mall, MC Serge met some fans and started to sign autographs. During these couple of minutes, Serge was approached by some Crips that were there at the mall, and they started to press him. Luckily for Serge, Pookie stepped in and stopped them from harming him.
And I'm signing autographs, and I look up, and I'm signing autographs, and as they get closer, the dude over here, he pulls the rag up. Dude over here, he pulls the rag up. They start to spread the girls, and as they come up to me, Pookie whistles. Everything stops. He throws up some signs, whatever signs he throws up. And it's one dude right in front of me who's got his hand on his ratchet, pulls down his mask and goes, "Yo, man, I love that record, but I was finna smoke you right now, homie." And the dude right next to me comes over, he goes, "Yo, can I get an autograph, man?" And he's like, "Yo, homie, I was finna smoke you too, you know, fucking Pookie didn't say nothing, I was finna smoke you, man."
Unfortunately, Serge didn't see this as a blessing from the sky and continued to escalate the feud. If that wasn't enough, the following day, MC Serge went on the radio, and while being live on air, he proceeded to call MC Hammer a bitch, challenging him to meet up and stop hiding behind goons.
Next day, we were giving away the Jeep on Greg Mack's The Mac Attack, which was the morning show at KDIC. And we walk into Greg Mack, and we're all excited, and Greg Mack is shaking our hands, and we're all happy-dappy, and, you know, excited to be on the morning show in LA, and yada, yada, yada. You know, we're giving away the third base Jeep, but we got a special person on the phone right now. 5 American Music Awards last night. He's up, he stayed up on our behalf. MC Hammer's on the phone. Hammer, how you doing? "Hey, Greg, man, I'm great. Yo, it's great to talk to you, yada, 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 yada." He goes, "Yo, I heard you had something you wanted to say to third base." He's like, "Well, you know, I just want to tell him, you know, I don't think it's cool for somebody to, you know, diss their mom in the record. Like, you know, I don't think that's cool." Now, mind you, I never said that lyric. Pete said the lyric, right? So I look over to Pete. "Your rhyme, dude. Say something." Nothing. So I'm like, all right. Okay. So I say, "You know what?" I said, "Man, if you feel like we dissed your matriarchal, that's okay, but you know what you did. You know what's going on in these streets. Why don't you man up and see me face to face so we can figure this out? Stop being a..."
A couple of minutes later, the radio station received a phone call from a man who identified as a Rolling 60s Crip and told Serge, "We're going to kill you."
Takes a call live. "Greg Mack, who's this?" "Rolling 60 Crip, and we finna kill them." Boom! Out! Security grabs us. We run out the fucking building.
In response to the threats, their base instantly evacuated the station, jumping in their car and heading back to their hotel. As they were driving off, a car full of Crips started following them and began pointing guns, insinuating that they were about to shoot them.
We get into the van, we start heading down the hill.
It's like a movie, innit?
Get ready for the next battle.
It's like a film. What do you say?
Can you handle my power? Let's go. One. Fight.
There's 2 blue cars, and these dudes get out, knock 11s, pointing at the vehicle. Pookie jumps out, throws his signs up, they get back in, they leave.
Once again, they somehow managed to get back to their hotel rooms alive, but for the rest of the press run, they wore disguises and left LA as soon as the press run ended. MC Hammer denied all the claims.
Ironic that even today, 20-something years later, the Surge Cat, he won his claim to fame. I'm telling you, Hammer was gonna have me, put in the dirt somewhere. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that you want that to be your claim to fame. But when you only sold about 300,000 records, you gotta grab some.
In 1991, Ice Cube released a video for his single, True to the Game. In the video, there's a scene where it shows a rapper dressed in hardcore-style clothing who later changes into red sequin outfit, which features symbolism of a rapper selling out and crossing over into the pop culture. The man in the video seemed to be awfully similar to MC Hammer, and once again, he wasn't going to let it slide. One day, Hammer was at his hotel room when suddenly the person he was on the phone with informed him that they saw Ice Cube at Roscoe's in Hollywood. He and his entourage jumped in their cars and arrived at the spot only a couple of minutes later. They caught Ice Cube as he was leaving the establishment and started to question him about the video. Allegedly, Hammer told Cube to never let that happen again, to which he responded, "No sir, that won't happen again." Redman also crossed paths with the MC. In 1992, Redman released his album, What? The album, and on the intro Funky Uncles, we can hear 2 people having a conversation about MC Hammer. It begins with one of them saying how much he likes him, while the other responds, "I don't know what you see in him, he ain't shit." He continues to say, "Your mama ain't shit, your daddy ain't shit, ain't nobody shit." MC Hammer didn't take this one lightly either, and once he heard that Redman is in town, he knew He had to be there.
Yo, even when I said about Hammer, yo, I said, listen to my first album. When I did the skit, and I was like, you know what? That goddamn MC Hammer, him, his mama, and the whole nine. That nigga came up to me on MTV Cribs on the last episode they had, where everybody out on, not MTV Cribs, sorry about that, I'm in the zone. On the last Dr. Dre and L Level on MTV, when they had the last episode.
Yo MTV Raps.
Yeah, Yo MTV Raps. When the last episode they shot, when they had everybody rapping on it, MC Hammer was there. That nigga approached me. He was like, Red, I'm gonna tell you something, you young, but I don't allow nobody talking about my mama. You understand me? I say, yes, sir. Because, yo, we was already in Oakland with EPMD, and we damn near had to bounce up out of there for that. Because they had niggas back here, back here, back here. We had to get the f out of here. They wasn't playing. We was almost boxed in.
Hammer's story is a perfect illustration of the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. In today's world, many people tend to laugh or ridicule him for his financial missteps. However, what often goes overlooked is the fact that he never abandoned his day once. He remained loyal to every single person he knew, feeding many at the peak of his career, paying them a monthly salary of $50,000, hiring family members as managers and assistants, and sharing his blessings with those closest to him. In the end, it was those very people who left him out to dry.
Oh yeah? I don't know, man. I didn't know about that. Who left who out to dry, man? Is it true?
Would you consider yourself more of a lyricist or a freestyle type of rapper?
I say lyrical. Real ill. Fat beats, fat rhymes, fat hooks. That's what hip hop is all about.
The life of Big L is an undeniable testament to both the immense talent and heartbreaking tragedy that can accompany a rising star in the world of hip hop. Hailing from Harlem, New York, Big L's lyrical prowess and captivating delivery quickly garnered him recognition as one of the genre's most promising artists in the 1990s.
Yo, while we hold gats, you hold knives. When you sold apes, we sold pies. When you roll bikes, we roll fives. There's no comparison, son. Just embarrassing. I'm running with some of the baddest men in the whole New York.
However, despite his undeniable potential and growing success,
You hold knives. When you sold apes, we sold pies.
a rising star in the world of hip-hop. Hailing from Harlem, New York, Big L's lyrical prowess and captivating delivery quickly garnered him recognition as one of the genre's most promising artists in the 1990s.
Yo, while we hold gats, you hold knives. When you sold apes, we sold pies. When you roll bikes, we roll fives. There's no comparison, son. Just embarrassing. I'm running with some of the baddest men in the whole New York.
However, despite his undeniable potential and growing success, his life was tragically cut short, leaving a void in the rap community all over the world. Lamont Coleman was born on May 30th, 1974, in Harlem, New York. He was the youngest of three children, born to Gilda Pinky Terry and Charles Davis. Unfortunately, he grew up in a single-parent household because his father left the family when Coleman was just a child. He and his brothers, Donald and Leroy, grew up in a two-room apartment on 139th Street and Lenox Avenue. Growing up, he was often called by the nickname Little L, since he was the youngest, or Bonbon. According to Don, everybody on the block was like family. They grew up struggling like everybody else, but their mother did everything to support her children, including running numbers, which according to Don, helped her to get a lot of nice things for them. We had a new bedroom set like every 2 years. We had a new living room set every year. We had the name change with the ring and the bracelet when we were like 10. Everybody loved their mother because she not only took care of her own children, but also looked after everybody on the block. She was the president of Tenants Association, and the block parties was on after that. She'd get the food, cook, everybody would come out. She started going to great adventure with the kids from the block. She would pay for everyone. According to his brother Don, Big L was actually adopted by the family from their uncle. When their uncle came back from the army, after the war, he had a lot of mental problems. They took Lamont to live with them. That's where the name Coleman came from. It was from his mother. Unfortunately, they were never able to find her. L found out about it at around the age of 14, and despite being teased by his brothers, he never really cared about it and just brushed it off. Big L got his first spark for hip-hop when he and his brother went to the Run DMC concert in 1985. Don had 2 tickets and decided to take Lamont with him. Despite being underage, Don snuck him into the concert, and after he heard
I'm the king of rock, there is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire.
and everybody started to jump, L was stunned, with his mouth wide open, completely mesmerized by what was happening. At the age of 12, Coleman became a huge hip-hop fanatic and began freestyling against people in his neighborhood with his brother Don on the turntables. In the beginning, all I ever saw me doing was battling everybody on the street corners, rhyming in the hallways, beating on the wall, and rhyming to my friends. Every now and then, a house party grabbed the mic, a block party grabbed the mic. He had grown to realize that it was time to change the nickname. Plus, he wasn't a big fan of calling himself Little, since he felt like it belittled him, so he changed it to Big L, a name that would soon become legendary in the hip-hop world. It's interesting that less than 10 years later, people started to call themselves Lil, and what was considered in a way emasculate just 10 years prior, now became a new wave. Apart from spending a lot of time with his brother Don, he was always closer with Leroy, better known as Lee, and even looked up to him. Lee wasn't a big fan of music and would rather solve conflicts with hands than freestyle battles. During the Complex interview, Don said, "I was the oldest, but everybody thought my brother Lee was the oldest because he was really dangerous. He never smiled, he never laughed." Jules, one of the childhood friends, who also grew up on the same block, didn't shy away from describing him as the most notable scary guy amongst groups of scary guys. Growing up as close to the streets as Big L and his brothers were, it wasn't a surprise that some of the family members would also choose this route. Apart from him, there were a lot of guys who were freestyle battling on the block, one of which was Jules' friend and a guy who L liked a lot, D-Wiz. One day, L said to him, "Yo, I wanna rhyme, what do I need to do?" And he simply responded with, "Get a notebook and start writing." That was exactly what he did, and in 1990, L began writing some of his first rhymes on paper, Big Daddy Kane being one of his main influences. Around the same time, he founded a group called 3 The Hard Way. The group consisted of Big L, Doc Ream, and Rodney. Unfortunately, the group didn't release any albums, and not long after the group was founded, Rodney left the group due to lack of enthusiasm. Since there were only 2 members left, they changed the name to 2 Hard Motherfuckers. L will write something and then will rhyme to D-Wiz and Jules to see their reaction and hopefully get some feedback. They saw a lot of potential in L and took him to Sharman's home studio, which was locally known as a staple producer in Harlem. Soon enough, all of them would be going to different open mic events along 125th Street, participating in battles with the hope of getting noticed by somebody. A lot of major artists that they would meet simply ignored him, and some would listen, but would often respond with, "He's dope, but he rhymes too hard. We don't know what we could do with him," or "I'm just an artist on the label. I don't really have power on my own yet to be able to put him anywhere. But he's nice." Thankfully, their search would finally see some results when in summer of 1990, when Big L was around the age of 16, they would meet Lord Finesse at an autograph session in a Rock and Will's record shop on the same 125th Street. They came into the store, and one of L's friends came up to Finesse and said, "My man wants to rhyme for you." At the time, a lot of people would come up to Finesse, saying that they were the next big thing, but in his own words, most of the time, it was nothing prolific. Responding to the situation, he was about to give him his manager's number when his friend doubled down and said, "Yo, he'll rhyme for you. If you don't like him, he'll never bother you again." Thankfully, it somehow worked, and he responded with, "Word? Let me hear him." Lord Finesse was blown right away. The rhyme style, the punchlines, the compounds. He loved everything. From the first moment, I knew he was going to be great. He still needed to work on a lot of things, but at the time, I've never seen a 16-year-old this polished. He immediately took him under his wing, picking him up from school and bringing him on every interview and every little show, just to show the world that he was the future of hip-hop. He started to hang around and later joined DITC, or Diggin' in the Crates, a hip-hop collective consisting of Lord Finesse, Diamond D, OC, Fat Joe, Buckwild, Showbiz, and AG. In 1991, he began recording various demos, some of which would later be featured on his debut album. He also founded the Harlem group Children of the Corn with Killer Cam, Mace, Herb McGruff, and Bloodshed. According to Jules, Children of the Corn originally were called Cage Fury. Children of the Corn was a group that was already in existence, but they were called Cage Fury. The Cage Fury was Mace, Cameron, Digga, and Bloodshed. They had gone to Elle a few times in regard to working. Elle was always so busy, so they went to her for Gruff. When Gruff got on it, that's when Elle said, "You know, my man f***ing with it, I'll f*** with it." Elle was always trying to put his friends on, a trait that he would carry throughout his life. Money was still an issue, so he and the boys from Children of the Corn created a new hustle. Elle was battling guys left and right, winning every single battle, so his boys started to put money on him and give him half of their winnings. It got to a point where Elle was so feared, not for his street antics, but rather for his skills on the mic, and nobody wanted to battle him. According to Dave Dash, one day Jay-Z pulled up on Big L and challenged him to a battle. "Yo, my man Jay wants to battle Elle." Elle came down the block, dapped everybody up, and they started to go back and forth at each other. At the end, everybody called it a draw, but one thing was for sure, they both gained some serious respect for one another. While everybody called it a tie, Elle himself told Finesse that he actually won the battle when he called him afterward, reciting the rhymes that he was kicking. Big L made his first professional appearance on the SME remix on the B-side of Party Over Here by Lord Finesse.
I only roll with originators. Chicks stick to my like magnets on refrigerators.
In 1992, he made his first album appearance on the song Represent by Showbiz and AGG's Runaway Slave.
MCs be bragging about cash they collect, but them chumps is like Ray Charles cause they ain't seen no money yet.
He also graduated from high school and won an amateur freestyle battle, which consisted of about 2,000 contestants. With a lot of hype around his name in Harlem and co-signs from artists like Lord Finesse, the same year, Coleman landed a record deal with Columbia Records. Now, with a label behind him, he started to work on his debut album. In 1993, Big L released his first promotional single, called Devil's Son. While the single didn't have the biggest commercial success, it sure showed people that the storm was coming.
This kid don't want me dope. I didn't take his life instead. I tied him up and made him watch me f*** his wife.
The single was classified as horrorcore and would even be pulled off the radio for its lyrics. I've been always a fan of horror flicks, plus the things I see in Harlem are very scary, so I just put it all together in a rhyme. A year later, he released his second promotional single called Women, and the radio edit of Put It On, which was also accompanied by a music video.
Hey yo, you better flee hops or get your head pulled 3 blocks. L keep rappers hearts pumping like beatbox.
On February 23rd, 1995, Big L went on the Stretch Armstrong and Bobito show when suddenly Jay-Z came into the studio asking to freestyle, giving us the legendary 10 minutes of Jay-Z and Big L going back to back together on the mic.
I cook the mic like a beefsteak, cause my technique's great. And I'm the nigga police hate in each state, cause I'm the neighborhood lamper, fumble rubber bammer. Fuck around you find my silk boxes in your mother's hamper. Cops drop when my Glock makes the pow sound. I'm from a wild town, you know my style clown, so bow down. Word up,
say what?
95 style. I got my man Jay-Z here.
Jay-Z, what's out now?
Check it out now. Hey yo, what brothers can beg and borrow, still feel sorrow with Jay-Z like sorrow. Get in that ass, better luck tomorrow. I'm too much, nigga, so never should you rush. You need to slow down or get your ass toe down.
With a lot of buzz around his name and a couple of years in the industry under his belt, Big L knew it was finally the time to release his debut album. In March 1995, the world got to listen to a masterpiece, which would soon become one of the iconic albums of the decade, called Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. The album was a great success. While it only reached 149th spot on the Billboard 200, the album would go on to sell 200,000 copies and fully solidified Big L's name in the world of hip-hop. The album is filled with complex rhymes, wordplays, and some of the best punchlines in the hip-hop.
Little step to this cause I got a live crew. You might be kinda big, but they make corpses from size 2. Attack knives by utensil. Building niggas with so much lead they can use me for a pencil. That business and get shanked up. I knocked out so many teeth too very with bankrupt.
The album received positive reviews from music critics, earning praise for his lyricism and wordplay. However, when it came down to the ratings, AllMusic gave the album 3 out of 5-star rating, stating, with better production and marketing, Big L might have found himself with a platinum album, but instead, he settled for platinum respect. Unfortunately, what should have been a start to an amazing career quickly turned to disputes with the label. The record label that he was signed at the time, Columbia Records, wasn't a fan of his style. They were looking for somebody more mellow and didn't like the artistic approach that L was embracing in his music, which was horrorcore. Disputes between Coleman and the label were finalized in 1996 when Columbia Records officially dropped Big L from the label. When asked about the reasoning behind the drop, he responded with, "I was with a bunch of strangers that didn't really know my music." With his music career now in question, more sad news followed. On March 2nd, 1997, one of the members of Children of the Corn, Bloodshed, which was also Cameron's cousin, died in a car accident in New York. The loss devastated everybody, and the group disbanded not long after that. The grind didn't stop, and despite having no label behind, he started to work on his second album, called The Big Picture, and would also in July appear with DITC on an issue of the Go magazine. The same year, he also appeared on OC's single, Dangerous.
I be that smooth cat you never seen rolling with clowns. One of the few from uptown that's holding it down.
And was the opening act for his European jewel store. A year later, he decided to finally open up his own independent label called Flamboyant Entertainment, and according to the Village Voice, it planned to distribute the kind of hip-hop that sold without top 40 samples or R&B hooks. 2 years after his solo release, in 1998, El released his new single called Ebonics.
Ain't you just a sherm? If you got AIDS, you got the germ. If a chick gave you a disease, then you got perm.
The single was so good that it was not only called one of the top 5 independent singles of the year by the Source magazine, but also got the attention of Damien Dash, the CEO of Rockefeller Records. This was huge for Big L, but he managed to remain calm and didn't jump the gun to sign to the label after the first offer. Dash offered him a deal as a solo artist, but one thing about Big L was that he always looked after his people, so he declined and demanded to sign not only him, but also his whole crew. Surprisingly, they were open to a conversation about it, and on February 8, 1999, Coleman, Herb McGruff, C-Town, and Jay-Z started the process to sign with a Rockefeller as a group called the Wolfpack. This was the biggest deal of his life. He would not only sign to Rockefeller, have a label behind his back that would see and fulfill his vision, but the deal would also put his day ones on the map, sharing the success with his people. But unfortunately, once again, when the dream was within the hand's reach, tragedy was looming on the horizon. Only a week later, on February 15, 1999, at approximately 8:30 p.m., Big L was standing at 45 West, 139th Street in his native Harlem when a car pulled up next to him and started firing shots. He was hit 9 times in the face and the chest, instantly dying at the scene. 3 months after the shooting, one of Big L's childhood friends, who was also on his debut album cover, Gerald Woodley, was arrested in connection to the crime. They had 2 main theories. One theory is that Big L's older brother, Lee, put out a hit on Woodley and 2 other gang members, and Big L was asked to help the gunman by pointing out who the targets were. Weeks before Big L's shooting, Woodley survived an attempt on his life, and Big L, according to the police, was reportedly seen in the presence of the hitman. The second theory was that Big L was far less innocent than he was originally portrayed. They claimed that they had several sources that confirmed him being a member of a local gang that robbed drug dealers. During the investigation, they were not only unable to find surveillance footage that might implicate Woodley in the crime, but also there were no witnesses who were willing to testify, opposing the idea of snitching. Both of the theories remain in the same status to this day, because due to lack of evidence, Gerald Woodley was released from custody and Big L's case was left unsolved. While there was insufficient evidence to convict Woodley of the shooting, his release remains controversial. In 2010, L's brother Don, in an interview, claimed that Big L was sent to do something that he was not supposed to by their brother Leroy, or Lee, confirming the speculations about it being a retaliation to his actions. In 2017, Gerald Woodley's cousin, Lou Black, released a book in which he details his first-hand interactions with the NFL crew and Big L. He once again confirmed the speculation about it being a retaliation to an attempted shooting of Woodley. Black did not specify if Woodley personally killed L. The oldest brother Lee was shot and killed on March 27, 2002. Gerald Woodley would also be gunned down years later on July 24, 2016, less than 250 yards away from the location where Big L was found dead. Regardless what was the reason behind the shooting, that night, the world lost one of the biggest what-ifs in music history. The news spread like wildfire, leaving a heavy cloud of grief hanging over the city. Big L, the iconic rapper, whose voice had echoed to millions of hearts, had tragically met his untimely demise, leaving all fans of hip-hop with a handful of unanswered questions.
Case unsolved.
Michael
Fuck, man. Fuck's sake.
Tyler or Mystical like.
Let me just, let's see what's going on. I didn't want to do that. Not that busy, right? So let's have a look. I think when I saw earlier it said around 17 online. Or not even, yeah, online, it's true. But not in online, or let's say playing the game. Or having the game running. Not necessarily online. Be doing anything. 16, that's even less. But it's yeah, so what's the time? It's already 12:30, you know. Let's see, what did it say? Ah, man, they don't like to, they do one and done a lot. That's what I've discovered about certain regions. Just not gonna play, and the online's not even that good. That'll do.